great. We're gonna do something a little bit different to get started today. It's a little bit like rapid fiery for some problems, and you won't get points on CodeTrack, unfortunately, but I think it's a good exercise. So just come along for the ride. Go ahead and open up Replit or somewhere you like to code. Hopefully somewhere you can easily run code, but it's not the end of the world if you can't run code here. Though Replit is great, or like CoderPad, or you could do it on VS Code. And I'm gonna give 15 problems at about like 90-second intervals, and just challenge yourself, try and keep up. They're all very small problems, so it's pretty reasonable to do them in 90 seconds, and feel free to copy and paste from previous solutions. It's almost encouraged to do that. There's the first one. Write a function that prints hello world. If you ask me for help, I'll probably help in JavaScript, but you are welcome to do this in any language. Whatever your language of choice is. And don't worry, they will get harder. Okay, here comes the next one. Write a function to add two numbers together. All right, here's the next one. Write a function that takes in a word and returns the first letter of the word. All right, given a word, print the last letter. Right, given two integers, return the lower of the two. Remember, it is totally fine to copy and paste from your previous answers. There we go. Given a word, print out every letter on its own line. Given a word, print out every other letter, starting with the first. All right, given a word, print the vowels. We're going to 16. So this is halfway there. Given an array of numbers, return the sum of all numbers. Okay, here comes 10. Given an array of numbers, find the highest number. $11. Given an array of numbers, find the second highest number. Okay, given an array of characters and spaces, return a string of words and spaces. And there's one example given there showing what that problem is asking for. Okay, well, we got 4 more. Here comes the next one. Given an array of numbers and letters, find the count of all letters. Hi, Andres. We're playing a little warm up here, doing some small questions quite rapidly. We're most of the way done. Feel free to join if you want. You'll see the prompts on the screen there.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm. Okay, here's 14 with 2 more to go. Given an object, print out each key on its own line. All right, given an object and a string, return true if that string is a key on the object. I'm gonna go ahead and put the last one up right away. It's a bit tougher, and I'll try and show as many as I can here on the screen. Given an array of numbers, return a function that takes a number as a parameter and adds it to the max number of the array and returns the sum. Did I read that right? Given an array of numbers, return a function that takes a number as a parameter and adds it to the max number of the array and returns the sum. It's a bit tricky. All right, we'll go 2 more minutes. Just see how many of these you can finish up. And we'll go through them real quick. All right, 1 more minute. All right, let's go through them. So first, I just want to point out, I don't know, some of you know me a little bit now, at least. I do not think being fast is the most important thing about being a good developer, but I think that pushing yourself to sometimes be faster, pushing yourself through exercises where you're looking to be speedy is a good way to make sure that you push yourself to learn new methods and do well with those. Also, I think it's fun. Hopefully it can just be something you could just have fun with. If you got 3, that's great. If you got 16, that's awesome. That you're practicing, that you're showing up to something like this, and practicing is the best so ever. And Otherwise, this teaches a lot of fluency in a language, whatever language you're working with, that you definitely want to take into an interview with you and frankly into a job. So I think this is valuable, though being fast is not the most important part. Knowing the language really well is the important part. That said, did anybody finish all of them? Anybody think they got all of them?
I ran over a few minutes, a few seconds, but yeah.
Oh, you went over a few seconds, but yeah, you got all of them. That's great. So one thing I'd ask Jenny, do you think like doing something like the problems on CodeTrack helps you get faster at problems like this?
So long as I don't labor over something I don't understand and I just go learn it and then practice it. That was the biggest thing for me to kind of break that bad habit of just saying, I'm going to solve this on my own because I want to. So,
Yeah, great. I agree. Cool. All right, let's go through these real quick. I'm not even going to do this first one. I think everybody knows that. Here we say, I think we have a fairly high level of skill here. Function add two nums, and we pass in a and b, and we return a plus b. It's not easy to be good at this if you're a bad typer like me, but we just want something like that. Here, I'm just going to copy. We say, okay, here we're going to take in a word, and we're going to return word at 0. That'll be the first character at the word. Get first character. Okay, go ahead and copy from there. Print the last letter. This is going to be word dot length -1. Again, preferably you're a better typer than me. Given two integers, return the lower of the two. Here I'm going to go back and copy this one right here. Again, this is almost a must, right? To be just pulling from other solutions. Math.min, passing in A and B is the answer there. We'll keep going. Given a word, print every letter in its own line. I'll take this one right here. Finally, we're going to have to write a loop. So for let char of word, and here we'll do console.log char. I know that a for of loop gives me the element itself, so I can just go straight for that in this case. Print out every other letter starting with the first letter. So here I will take this again, but I'm going to change this to in. We'll change this to I for index. We're going to have to do one other condition here. If I remainder 2 equals 0, meaning it's even 0, 2, etc., then we'll print it out. Cool. Yep. Good. Moving on. Given a word, print the vowels. Let's again go to this. I realize I'm not renaming my functions here. So here we say print vowels. My bad. Vowels. Good. And for this, we'll say if A, E, I, O, U dot includes char, and bad on me, there we go. Then we'll go ahead and print it out. That's good. Andres, did you have a question? Includes. Okay. Given an array, I'll just copy from here. When we finish all these, I'll be happy to take questions on any of them. Find sum of array with a capital S. We'll pass in our array. Go ahead and get rid of all this. Return array dot reduce. Here we want to say one more parenthesis, sum num, something like sum plus num. Give us the total there. We'll copy that again down to number 10. Find max in array. This is going to be math dot max dot array. Okay, keep going. Given an array of numbers, find the second highest number. Here's where it's definitely going to get a bit trickier. So here we'll say let max equals negative infinity. Let second max equals negative infinity. Gotta try and be fast. Let I equals 0. I is less than array dot length I plus plus if I is greater than max. Else if I is greater than second max. Here we're going to want to finish our loop and then we want to return second max. Now let's go back and do our logic. Max equals I, but before we can do that, we want to say second max equals max. Then second, yep, and then here we want to say second max equals I. I believe that's right. Hope I didn't miss anything there. Here we can just say function make string, pass in the array. It already has everything we need, so we can just do return array dot join on nothing. Just on an empty string. Given an array of numbers, find the count of all the letters. Let's take this again. Here we'll say find count. Let's do find letter count. We want array dot filter, where we want to filter each element, and we only want to keep the element if we say type of L equals string. That is definitely not the most precise way to do that. You could definitely take issue with that. If you did something like that, I would call it good. If you did something even more thorough, I'd call that even better. We do better here using a regular expression. Given an object, print out every key on its own line. So here we'll say print every key. We want to pass in an object, and we don't need to return anything here. We just need to say object dot keys dot map with key. There we go. Console dot log key. That'll do it. Given an object and a string, let's go back to this here. So find string as key. Here we want to say let keys equals. Did I do that wrong? Yes, I did. My mistake there. We need to pass in object. My bad. And then object dot keys passing in object dot includes string. We need to make sure the string is also a parameter, like so. And finally, we get to this last one. We say function make func to add max num, passing in an array. First thing we want to do is find the max. We already know how to do this. In fact, we could go right up here to find max in array. There's a typo. And say, okay, our max is find max in array of array. And then we want to return a function. That function takes in a number, and that returns max plus num. And that is that. I'm very happy to answer any questions on this warm up here. Does anybody have any of these that they want to talk about? I'm sure I have typos too.
Will map allow you to console log something there on?
That's a good question. Let's try it. Console.log print every key, passing in an object with A and 3. Sure, it's going to say you have many errors. Includes char on line 54. If AIU dot includes, what's my problem here?
Is it backwards?
No, it's missing parenthesis, I think. Okay, there's A and there's undefined. So where are we here? Here, I'm running this function. It's returning undefined because it's not returning anything. And it seems like it's console logging A, just fine. Let's try another one. Hello. And we'll set that to 0. Try and run that again. And now we say A and hello. Looks like it's fine.
Will it work without the console log call to print every key?
No, You mean if I just do this?
No, if you took it out on line 121 when you call print every key function.
Good idea. There
Yep.
we go.
Okay, cool.
That gets rid of the undefined. The console log is just returning what the function returns or printing what the function returns, which is nothing, but you're right, doesn't. Leave it. So yes, it will work from there. Cool. I think this is a great exercise. I think if you just like get up in the morning and do all of these as quick as you can, it's just going to drive fluency in JavaScript. It's not that these specific problems are so good, but problems like these that just hopefully you can move through really fast are a great way to just get some JavaScript down, or Python or Java or whatever language that you write in. And anyhow, I hope is slightly enjoyable. I didn't do this one. Should have done this one. Here we say print hello world. And of course, I don't think there's any shocker here. We want hello world, something like that. Great. Any other questions here? All right, cool. I see lots of people when I do interviews, I see lots of people like engaging with the problem in a way that they should be, which is great, but just honestly too slow. Like, and it's not that they're too slow solving the problem, it's that they don't have enough fluency with JavaScript to fly through the JavaScript and spend the most of the time, how do I solve this problem? What are different approaches here? What are the trade-offs, things like that? And I don't know any way to get there except for just lots of repetition with JavaScript, and problems like this that are kind of more rapid fire, they certainly help with that. So if if you get, I work with a lot of students that will get to like 6, 7 in that much time. If you're like that, great, just keep going through until you can kind of fly through them.